On the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, a tower painted in bold black and white stripes stands against the sky. In the bright Florida sun, it's a beautiful landmark. But when the sky darkens and the wind begins to move through its iron frame, the lighthouse changes. It doesn't feel abandoned. It feels occupied. The St. Augustine Lighthouse is one of the most historically documented haunted locations in the United States. Not because of vague legends or campfire stories, but because real people died here. Named people. Children, keepers, and their families. And many believe they never truly left. The first lighthouse in St. Augustine rose during Spanish rule in the 1500s, but it didn't survive. The coastline eroded, and the sea took it. Another tower followed, and it too collapsed into the ocean. The current structure, completed in 1874, stands 165 feet tall, with 219 narrow, spiraling steps. It was built to fight the darkness and warn ships away from a coastline known for wrecks and sudden storms. But danger didn't only wait offshore. It waited on land. In 1873, construction was still underway. Hezekiah Pittee, the superintendent, lived on the grounds with his family, as did the families of other workers. Children played among lumber, tools, and unfinished foundations. A large, heavy construction cart, meant for carrying stone, sat on the property. It wasn't secured. 3 young girls climbed inside it to play. Moments later, it began to move. Slow at first, then faster. The cart rolled down a slight incline toward a tidal inlet. The girls screamed, but its weight was too much. It tipped into the water, trapping them inside its wooden frame. The inlet was shallow, close enough to shore to hear the splashing, close enough to run for help, but not close enough to save them. By the time help arrived, they were agony. Their deaths are documented historical facts, not myth or exaggeration, and many believe their laughter still echoes across the grounds. Visitors and staff report hearing the faint sounds of small footsteps circling the base of the tower, running, stopping, then running again. Sometimes, playful but distant laughter follows. A former tour guide once stood near the old well when she heard a soft, clear whisper right behind her. "Come play with us." She turned, but the courtyard was empty. Another staff member felt something tug at their clothing while locking the tower at dusk. When they turned, nothing was there, just the sound of faint giggling drifting up the stairwell. Many of these reports happen in broad daylight, which somehow makes them even more unsettling. Inside the lighthouse, the tight, spiraling metal staircase echoes with every movement. Visitors often report hearing footsteps just ahead of them. One step, then another, always slightly out of sight. One witness described climbing halfway to the top when he realized he was matching pace with someone he could unsee. When he stopped, the footsteps stopped. When he climbed again, they resumed. Others described seeing a woman near the upper windows, dressed in period clothing, standing perfectly still, watching the horizon. She doesn't seem threatening, just patient, as if waiting for a ship that never arrived, as if her duty was never completed. Staff members have also reported hearing their own names spoken clearly inside the empty tower. Not echoes, not imagination, but direct and personal. One employee responded to what she thought was her coworker calling from below. She answered out loud, but no reply came. When she descended the stairs, she found the building was empty. Investigators have captured unexplained voice recordings, brief, whispered responses to questions, and have seen motion sensors trigger in locked rooms. Of course, there are skeptical arguments. Wind can create vibrations in the metal stairs. Echoes bounce unnaturally through the cylindrical tower. Light and shadow can play tricks along the curved walls, and expectation definitely influences perception. These points are valid, and yet, even visitors who are unaware of the tragedies report a deep sense of unease. Sudden cold spots, a pressure in the chest, and an overwhelming feeling of being observed. Not threatened, just watched from above. Lighthouses are symbols of safety, but they are also monuments to disaster. For every ship saved, others were lost. Families lived inside that responsibility. Children ran across the grounds. Wives waited at the windows, and keepers climbed those 219 steps, day after day, year after year. Some believe the spirits remain because they never finished their work. The light still burns, and ships still pass in the distance. And sometimes, visitors climbing those stairs feel as though they are interrupting something, as though someone is already there, waiting. Long after the last tourist leaves and the doors are locked, the tower doesn't feel empty. It feels aware, and if you listen carefully while climbing, you may hear footsteps behind you, keeping pace all the way to the top.